So what I went and did yesterday was fix all of the abilities so that they use the new stat system that I introduced a long time ago. So now I'm able to hopefully activate any ability and they just work. For example, I tested the shield orbs and they do seem to work here. So for example, if I give myself the shield orbs and then let enemies spawn, I tested them and made them dependent on my attack range. Actually, it says ±10, which is not how I want this to be. Must have been like a mistake. Text.h, shield orb. It says plus. Okay. Yo, hey Cotton-Grey, good morning. Hey man, I've asked this like 10 times already, but can you talk a bit about how you handle your UI layout in your engine? My UI layout in my engine is basically fixed positions descriptor or decryptor. Essentially, I can give you a simple example. Draw hero, or let's say hero, oops, hero list. I have a section called the hero list, which is the list to the right here. And that list has fixed positions where it's supposed to be. For example, here, I make sure that the hero list is dependent on the world size and then a fixed position -22. And then I make it 38 pixels tall. 38 pixels wide. It's mostly fixed positions that I then use to fill in content. So for example, I have this hero list rectangle that I'm working with on the right. I have like an anchor point on the top left of that list. And then for every entry, I move that anchor point down and I build that every frame. That's how I basically do that. So for example, for every hero in the list, you can see that here. I basically... let me find that really quickly. I draw a background on a certain position here. That's the position, the unit rect position. And I do draw the unit sprite. No, that's actually the cost of the unit. You could see right here. And that's also, you know, based on some fixed position. Like there is no layouting at all. I basically place these by hand. And then I draw the unit again on some... Where is it? Here. On some fixed position. And so basically I position everything in a fixed way, but it works out. I have basically perfect control over where something is drawn. And then I just increase a position and do the same thing again. Like basically, yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Repeat. In this case, right? Okay, so the immediate mode kind of thing. Thanks for explaining. Yeah, it's immediate mode kind of thing. So you can see here. Wait, why is he not using it? He used it yesterday the entire time. Why is he not using this ability? Huh? What? What the fuck? What's going on here? Cakez, are you using a string array for your localization, using an offset for the language? Yeah. And we are going to work with UTF-8 in the future. Right now it's all ANSI. But I think it's possible to use UTF-8 in the engine too. But we're going to need support for that in the future. Ah, now it is. So this is the ability. It is called shield orbs. And these are just rotating shields around you, just like the shields from Vampire Survivors. And they hit enemies as they rotate around your character. And the cool thing about these shields is that they actually take your weapon range into account. You see how these shields got larger? That's what I did yesterday off stream. And now I'm basically trying to debug most of my abilities so that they work, essentially. So we have a new skill point here, and I would like to get the Meteor into the skill tree. Right here. Save that, so that we can train it and skill it. It does fire damage, has a range. And no, it actually does have cost, right? Costs 50 energy and has a 10-second cooldown. So let's see if that ability works. I want to see that. It probably doesn't, but maybe it does. Meteor is not supposed to be usable by... Oh? Oh? Okay. Something's falling. Oh? Ooh, okay. It didn't deal any damage. And it looks like the material... the materials for the different colors are full. A bit slow when exploding. Nice particle effect. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's not done correctly yet. What I'm trying to do here, this equals operator, is trying to find the exact color. And if I have a bunch of particles that all have different colors, what I needed to introduce in the past in order to display these colors in more like of a step way is have like an epsilon, so that I have steps and not exactly. Keep the area gray for a few seconds after impact. So what we need to do here is change this equals operator to floor value steps. But if I do floor, these values are between 0 and 1. So we need to create like, let's see, a const float step, which is, let's say, 0.01. Or maybe 0.01. Maybe that's still a lot. How many different colors can we have then? 1,000, right? This is 1,000 colors. Is that good enough? Okay, 0.01. So that would be 1,000 different colors. Is that possible? I think that's fine. So what do we do here? Value times 1,000 divided by 1,000. Okay. So essentially the other, right? We multiply that by 1,000. Floor that. Oh, see, I have to do this with the colors. Step. Times the step. Oof. I have to do this. Well, maybe I need to create a floor value in my math in the Schnitzel lab. Let's see, math. Stuff. Struct vec4. I want to have a floor value for that. Lerp vec4 floor v4. That takes in a vector of vec4 v. And then return. Oh yeah, yeah, v or floor f on v.x. Floor f. I said floor f. On v dot r. Wait. X y. Floor f. Z. No x. Wait. V dot z. And floor f on v dot w. Right. That gives us a floor v4. Then we can say floor v4. Using the color times multiplied by 1,000 times OF and then multiplied by a step. Oh, I see, set. Multiply that by the step. And we do that the same way for the additive color. I think this should be done here. Or I do that in, not here, because this checks if it's actually equals. I do that in the rendering interface in the getMaterialIndex function. Before I power the color, I guess. So like my color is still, or the equals operator is still fine. Material and material. There we go. This would be 100,000 different colors. Otherwise the array is too large. Right? We would have to have too big of an array. That means though that the materials array here should have at least room for 1,000. Right. Is this all just to compare floats? What happened to floats a minus b less than epsilon? Oh, I could do that too? So, wait. Tranquil. No, I don't know that you could do that. You can epsilon error value when comparing floats. Yeah, maybe that's better. Okay. So, basically what you say here is if color minus wait, so we would have to do a 4 times, right? Dot x y z w. We do the same thing here. Wait, can I yoink that? Is that possible? Yoink? Oh, don't tell me that is possible. Oh my god, that's so good. Oh my god. That is really cool. Alright. We're cooking with gas here, guys. We're cooking. No! Sorry. Didn't mean to do that. I was supposed to... No. Yoink. Look at this Vim user, guys. Look at this Vim user! It's a super jumbo size collector egg. Poor chicken had to squeeze it out. Why don't you use these nuts, Cakez? Alright, and then instead of equals, we do minus. Minus the other color. Right, we put a, whatever that's called here. A brace. And then we say is less than epsilon. We do that here too. Cool, thank you. That is much better than what I had before. I think. Now, what would we determine this epsilon be? Const float epsilon. What would that be? 1 divided by 1,000. So basically 0.01. 0.001f. This allows 1,000 different floats, right? This allows 1,000 different colors. Maybe more. Wait. In one channel. Don't forget F apps, or it only works half the time. F apps. Oh, I see. So this is supposed to be F apps. And that is basically the absolute value of this. So the positive value of this, which is the actual difference between the two, it has to be less than the epsilon to be equal. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe I turn this into 100 different colors. Here. And if we notice any bad visuals, I'm proud member of No Fabs. Hi Sturdy, super cool, and also hi Cakez, I guess, by the way. Hello Inukai, good morning, man. What a nice person. Alright, let's see if this works now. That's awesome. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Wait, I do 2 things now. I shouldn't do this then. Shouldn't do that. Another thing is the semantics of the equals. Considering to approximate color, that seems like it doesn't seem semantically correct. They are in fact approximate and not equals. True. Somehow I prefer rounding it up during creation instead of such comparisons. Easier for debugging when you see a nice rounded values instead of this stuff. So what you mean by that is you find this better? Yeah. Isn't that? It has to be 90% accurate. 99% rather. Gives you visually nice readable stuff for debugging too. This is more readable. I mean, we could do both, essentially, yeah. But maybe that should be in the material constructor. Which I don't really like having a constructor, but... Now, if I define one constructor, I have to define them all, don't I? Yeah. That would be in the material constructor. Always having rounded values from the start sounds nice too. So basically I would have to create the default constructor of material where I set the color. I basically do this in the color. Right? I wonder if I destroyed the constructor just now. He's doing it. Nah, I might have destroyed my game with this. Oh yeah. I think. Yep. Now it's complaining about not being able... Wait. No matching function call for draw sprite. Candidate function requires at most 3 arguments. It doesn't understand the constructor for material now. He's gonna get mad like for this. No, I'm not gonna get mad. I expected this to happen. Why round the values like that? Makes no sense to me. Has absolutely no performance gains. Also can probably explain why that's a good idea. The reason why I need to do that is when I have a bunch of particles emitting on the screen and I fade one particle from an alpha value of 1 down to 0, that is an infinite amount of values that I can use for the alpha value. That would mean I would have to have infinite amounts of materials that I send to the GPU that I would need to send these to the GPU. Yeah, we can't do that, guys. So that I can access them in the GPU. But accessing that many amounts of materials is impossible because you don't have that much space. I mostly C-style my stuff, but I use methods and structs more and more. Yeah, I mean, we can't do it, guys. Unfortunately, I cannot have this in the game, and therefore I'm probably gonna keep the epsilon comparison here. Would be cool to have these nice readable values, I agree with you. But I can't, because it breaks my... Isn't your code wrong anyway? It's supposed to be floor time step? Divided by step? No, I think this is correct. This is times 1000 divided by 1000, and the step is this. Methods are nice, I don't like having to call my shit like this. Foobar, blah blah blah. You want to have a dynamic parameter? No, I actually want... It's basically not allowing me to use... What did he call it? Having a constructor breaks the design / aggregate construction. It's either / or. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna switch over to the chair, and I need to go to take a bathroom break. So we can't do it essentially because this constructor breaks it, unfortunately, and I can't define this. gonna use the epsilon comparison, guys. I think pre-20 you can use it, yeah, but I'm using 20 features, unfortunately, you know. Something sounds fishy. I'm not interested in understanding your problem, but I'm confused about what comparison is useful for. This comparison is useful for so that what I do is every single entity in the game, or let's say thing in the game, can have a color associated with it. I send 2 colors to the GPU, a multiplicative color and an additive color. By default, every unit has these 2 colors. And so when I make my... Reducing the alpha shouldn't need more materials? Yes, because let's say I spawn a particle system of 400 particles. Each of these individual particles can all have a different color over time. So it's fading the particles alpha out. And therefore I will have 400 different alpha values for this one particle system. Now I'm unable to create so many different colors for the GPU. Adding a constructor breaks something. Consider adding init method that could act like a constructor and use it for new stuff cakes. Init is not something I want to call by hand every time. And so if I create a material, I want this to happen automatically. But maybe it's the copy constructor. You should be able to plug in an alpha value color without material in the material per particle. In the material per particle and do the calculations on the shader. But for me, a particle is just a quad at the moment. So my design, it means a particle is a quad. And that quad uses a material, an index into a material, into an array of colors. I don't have a separate shader for materials at the moment, so I would have to redesign the entire pipeline just so I can spawn materials. I don't have sorry, just so I can spawn particles in their own shader. I have indexed colors, yeah, I'm indexing into colors. It's my design that's not good here. And so the only solution that I found was to limit the amount of colors I have coming to the GPU. That's the solution I came up with. So we'll get rid of this and just use the epsilon for now. You know, I know that there's other ways, you know, thanks to you guys. I appreciate it, but I really don't want to go into this right now because it would take too long. Okay. You should be able to plug in an alpha color. WC. What is WTC, by the way? Material in the material per particle. And do the calculations on the shader. Texture LUT? Yeah, I don't know what coding green means exactly. Unfortunately. Anyways, so it should still be fine, guys. This is not perfect, but at least it will work for now. Right? Being able to have like 100 different alpha values is still good enough in my opinion. Should still be good enough. Wife tells Cakes what to do. Okay, bro. There we go. Get Meteor. This is the ability that we were testing, the Meteor ability. And it spawned a lot of particles. Did anyone redeem the new Twitch thing today? No, Abef, I did. And it worked, but it got a null on the emote. Okay, so I'm using the Meteor now. Let's see. There we go. Unfortunately, it used the dumb target. Should have used the better one. It uses the first. So this is where the particles spawn. Yeah, and now they fade out, and these are like almost 400 particles, which is why that's not bad, but that's essentially what happens. And I think I can go to Meteor. See, that's the shader header. Meteor. Hey, Meteor. There you go. A material is like an interface to your shader parameters. Like a simple material has two parameters. RGB color and alpha. Excuse me, sorry. Each thing you draw has its own RGB color and alpha. Both can change between draws. If you want to make it indexed, then you need all of these parameters indexed too. Otherwise you can use uniforms or UVO. Yeah, so let me drink. I hate that. It's so dry that I can't talk. I think it should leave an area of impact for some time. You have the same material with different parameters for different woods and not different wood materials. Yeah, so essentially what I have is this. Not sure why it... I hate it, man. Alright, so the different parameters that I'm talking about for my game are colors. So when I send a quad to the GPU, I'm not sending 400 different transforms, they all have their own colors. I'm sending 400 different transforms that index into colors, because I noticed that most of the transforms all use the color white. So why would I duplicate that data? So I chose to have an array of colors somewhere on the GPU that I can index into using my different transforms. And therefore, at the end of the day, I end up having less data on the GPU. If I have different color values, I need to store them somewhere. Right? Nerve yourself? No, we can talk about this, right? So we can go through this. Think about it. I have 1,000 trees. 1,000 trees. And they all have different colors. If I put the color data, let's say they all have different colors. There's never a color twice between all of these trees. I need to store these different colors somewhere and send them over to the GPU. Right? I need to have that. Whether I put it here or I put it in an array of colors is like, these are different solutions, right? I still need that data to be on the GPU because it can be different data. Now I decided to have an array of materials because I noticed that for the most part everyone is just using white and white. So instead of having, let's say we have 1,000 trees, but only 50 of them have different colors and the other ones are just using the color white. Now I have 50 different materials on the GPU. He wanted to save 2 seconds of compile time by writing the iterators himself. That optimization doesn't seem worth the annoyance. I don't know if this is premature optimization shooting myself in the foot. Because now I'm thinking about, well, okay, if I want to extend this in the future to not only have color and additive color, but also, let's say, a float reflection and a float shininess. Shininess, maybe? And then maybe a float roughness, I guess? I don't know if that exists. So basically this is like the typical PBR stuff, right? Physics-based rendering. Would that still make sense? Or would I have to split up the colors with these? Like I have materials that only have these values, but then I could still have like a reflection. Don't take a look at the... Yeah, okay. Nice spelling. And you mistyped nice as well, man. Anyways, so yeah, that's the idea. Meteor. So this is what the Meteor looks like normally, once we have enough energy. And it doesn't deal any damage. Let's see. Meteor. Okay. It's supposed to deal AoE damage if the explosion timer is 0. Does that ever happen? Let's test. Oh, I didn't notice that all of these hits. Aha, so it's supposed to deal AoE damage. Target components is 1. 1 means bit 1, that could be component enemy. Stats, let's take a look at those. Values, do we have any values in the stats? 0 stats here. No, actually wrong. We should have fire damage. Okay. 60 fire damage. Okay. I wonder what deal AoE damage does then. It should go into the component enemy, which it does, and then it deals AoE damage here. And it will try to find targets to hit. Circular collider. Ah, I see. That's the issue. No, wait, the AoE circle. We don't have a radius. It doesn't use radius at all. Okay, that's where the problem happens. Good to know. So our ability doesn't have an AoE radius. Looks like. Why is the AoE radius 0? Let's see where that's Aha, the AoE stat. Wait a minute, but I think I programmed this yesterday in the evening and I added an AoE stat to Meteor. No. No. Ah, we don't have. It's a range. It's not supposed to be. Hey. AoE. Let's give it an AoE radius of 100. And I mean, we can also give it a range, I guess. And maybe a radius of 32 would be better instead of 100. Then we can add another stat of stat attack range. Attack radius. That would be the range. I think the main takeaway from today is that you would eat your own dick if you could. Okay, bro. Cakez, negative reactor, and fun sucker. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Okay? Yeah, I'll see you in a couple of months, okay? We'll see then. Alright. Now I need to change the text here. Meteor. Okay, I'll see you in a couple of years from now, you know, when I released my game. Just wait. Bitch. Just wait. I haven't given up, even after 3 years of going into this. I won't give up now. Okay? Have you guys ever seen me stop working on my game? Have you guys ever seen me, or maybe I shouldn't continue my game? Have you guys ever heard that one time out of my mouth? Have you guys heard that a single time? I will make a video of critiquing the game. Okay, then I can learn from it. Thanks, bro. Scorpion won't say it? Shut the fuck up, bitch. Okay. Now we changed the description for the Meteor. We now have AoE and an attack radius, which will mean it should, in theory, just work. Whoops. Let's see. It does deal damage now, guys. Nice. It works. This is cool. I'm starting to get the abilities back in the game again. Really love it. This is cool. Love you, really. My man, cheeseburgers. Appreciate it, bro. What a giga chat. There it is, guys. It's gonna get activated now. There it is. Oh, it doesn't deal much damage because it's only one. The radius is a bit small. Boom. Ah, now it works much better. It creates all of these. You see that? I think that works much better, right? Obviously, it doesn't have a sound, right? And the particles don't really have a color at the moment. This is the timed light, AoE radius. Now, I think I want to improve the radius for the Meteor. Instead of 32, I want to have 64. I want to have a big Meteor. Meteor is supposed to be an ability that you don't use very often. Those particles don't look dangerous enough. Looks like birthday celebration. They were actually red in the past. I just don't know what happened here. Wait, color palette 4 is orange, right? Let's open up a sprite. Color palette 4 is red. Okay, let's try red. Because it uses the color, right? Oh. Sounds, yeah, I still need to work on sounds. I have an issue where I try to play the same sound 20-30 times, and I should only play the sound once if it's playing the same sound already. Now, my big issue with this system is that I don't know what or how to handle sounds properly, so we will have to read up about sound design in the future on how to handle that properly in games. Like, for example, in Bloons, I'm pretty sure the pop sound that you hear keeps getting restarted instead of starting 10 instances of the pop sound. I think. I could be wrong here. But I think at most it starts like 3 instances of the sound. And so I'll have to figure out how to properly do sound design in order for that to work properly. This is something that engines fix for you, but I noticed that Godot, for example, also plays just all of the sounds at once. If you have an impact effect that impacts 10 units at once, it would play all of the sounds at the same time. Which I don't think is the correct way to do this. Right, let's give him this and then wait for the game to run. He needs to get level up. I make each sound have a cooldown. Yeah, but like, okay, but let's say I hit this guy with a shield, and then a second later I hit him with this shield again. Like, boom, boom. You want to have each impact play the sound, don't you? I wonder if there's like some resources on the internet that we can read up where we can learn, you know, from someone that has made sound a short cooldown like 0.1 second. Otherwise it's too crazy. Okay guys, there it is. I mean, okay, I'm gonna keep saving until we reach. It's gonna take a while. It's like 1 second is like 10 seconds on this. We'll have to wait. Isn't there a property that whenever the sound ends gives you a boolean? Yeah, I mean, Berserk, you can also have a list of playing sounds. I mean, I have a list of playing sounds and I know where they are in the buffer. I can restart that list. I set maximum instances per sound and replace the oldest sounds if the maximum instances. But if you have a sound playing and you replace the... They are still white. Okay. Create emitter? Don't I emit particles? Don't I do anything with this? Game state emitters. Aha. I think it's this. This can be done on the GR. We go through all of the particles on here. Update particle emitters. Emit particles using the emitter. If we are supposed to emit a particle, we generate the radius, we get the direction, lifetime, add it to particles. Aha, but the particle has the color of the emitter. That's the important part. Okay. And then when we update and draw the particles, particle color. Hä? It's white. Hey? Cakez, have you done more than 30 minutes of coding today? You must feel very good. Shut the fuck. It's so fucking toxic from Asian, man. Like, it's insane. You know, I'm engaging with the community, trying to, you know, learn something so we guys can have a nicer and better experience together. And all this guy has to say is, oh, Cakez, did you do any coding today? Oh, only 30 minutes? I'm so much superior than you. I did an hour of coding today. You're such an idiot, bro. Shut up! I was being wholesome? No, you were being demeaning. Because you were being like, basically what your message said was, oh, you do so little coding that an hour of coding is already good for you. I know exactly what you're trying to say. Yeah. Don't look at me that way. I know exactly what you're trying to do here. Don't even. I can read between the lines. It was toxic. Where's the lie? That's totally wrong. Okay, that's totally wrong. I try to do at least 2 to 3 hours of coding every day. And most of the times I do that. So you are wrong, me. Really wrong. Let's do that again. Poof. Wow, what a huge impact. Look at this. Huh? It gives a huh? I'm a fucking dumbass. I'm a fucking stupid idiot. It uses the wrong emitter. What did I change here? Huh? No. It was the wrong particle, guys. It was the wrong particle. It was supposed to be here. You know what it would be a cool experience for us? Jay. Stop demanding stuff, okay? You're too demanding. Oh, there it is! You see that, guys? Guys. Watch this. I have an idea. And by the way, create emitter of type. We can create a static list of emitters where we can have particle types And when we just index into those emitters, we don't need to have this function here. That is the next step. Just like a JSON format. Watch this. It's probably too much. You know, I think it's probably too much. But what if it has bloom? Pause champ. It makes it glow. It actually makes it glow. Like a tiny bit. You see that? Looks good. I didn't think... It actually looks good. Yeah. That's not too much. I thought it would be more. That's actually really good. Boom. I think though that... no, actually I think that's good enough. Looks like Hiroshima. Okay, bro. That's a bit much. The fire should not blend that much. These explosions blend because otherwise I think they take away too much. I think they take away too much what do you call that? They draw too much attention otherwise. I think the projectile is a bit small. Well, you have to realize that this is slow and the projectile is just fast. And you don't notice it at all. Maybe the circle though is a bit big. And maybe 64 is a bit much. However, I think I'm gonna keep it at this first because this is one of the end game attacks. You know, well, maybe the fire damage is a bit low for this. Maybe it should be like 200 or something. I feel like the damage is a bit low. It feels kinda OP. It's supposed to be OP because it's supposed to be like an end game thing. So I think it's fine. But the fire damage, I think, should have a better base, like 140 or something. How about that? That's 190. Oh yeah, it also, like the Meteor, not only does fire damage, but it also does your weapon's physical damage as damage. So I would have to take that into account as well. Here's a big question, guys. So right now, these abilities work almost like in Path of Exile. If I have a list of stats on my unit, and I have, let's say, my weapon deals 50 physical damage, and then I use an ability that deals 100 fire damage. I calculate the stats from my unit together with the stats for the ability, and that creates an ability that deals 50 physical damage and 100 fire damage. So it basically adds those two stats together and deals that as damage. And so, for example, that's why you see the Meteor not doing 150 damage, but you're seeing the Meteor doing 190 damage because the base physical damage of this guy is 40. You see that? So I basically have an ability that adds fire damage on top of my damage instead of replacing my weapon damage with the fire damage. That's why the ability says plus fire damage. Now the question becomes, should I keep it that way? The amount of detail in Kana feels different for each pixel element. Characters feel really different from the trees, for example. But that's the idea. UI icons look different too. Top UI icons. Top UI icons? You mean those? What do you mean different in what way? Ooh, we got a golden. Ooh, we got a golden one. Really cool. Awesome. I mean, you should add scaling factor for damage. Let's say skill is magic 1, so it should not be affected much by physical stats. That it is true. The fire damage will only be affected by increases to fire damage or elemental damage. I have stats that reflect fire damage plus, like for example, I'll show you. Oh wow, that looked really cool. Wow, that looked really cool. So for example, right, this guy is gonna get a level up soon. If we give him, oops, if we give him another point here on the skill tree, and that point is connected to the Meteor, and we turn that into a, let's say, fire point, right? Save that, and then we can say here, I would like this point to be affecting fire damage, and I want to increase my overall fire damage by 20%. Now, this stat will affect my fire damage, but it will not affect any ability that deals physical damage. Is this a dev tool, or can users modify skills like this? The idea in the future is that users will be able to affect this and create their own mods. But at the moment, this is just for me. But the idea later is users will be able to add skill trees however they want to. And then I will have to think about how that is being managed. Yeah, I would love the abilities to give users whatever they want to do. Sure. Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm building that with that in mind, but it's not a priority. Does the tooltip change, or is it visible after calculation? So it is visible. So for example, if I save that now, we need to get another skill point, right? But right now we have 150 plus 160. That is also displayed here. This guy needs to get a level up first. Let's wait. There we go. Okay, we got another skill point. So, 150, 150, 160. Doesn't update here, but it should update down here. It doesn't. It doesn't update in the tooltip, but it dealt more damage. I think I had this in the past that it would update in the tooltip, but now it doesn't anymore. Maybe that's just a bug on my part, but I think it should. Okay, here's when we can select a new hero. Let's unlock this guy. Yeah, I think it should update in the tooltip. Because my skill tree gives me 20% fire damage, right? I don't know yet whether I want to keep it, whether I want to add it yet or not. But yeah, essentially, that's the idea of these abilities. And so right now, I just want to test. So for example, here's something I wanted to add or change. You see the healer dealing physical damage. And you can see that because the damage numbers are gray from the healer. It's 35, the 35 you see here. What I wanted to do is give the healer, instead of physical damage, I want to give her lightning damage. Now, instead of physical, she deals base lightning damage because she is a lightning damage. She has a lightning damage kit to her. Survivors replaced platformer as first newbie project. Yep. Yeah, like I think so, yeah. Survivors clone is the best thing to do. Now, she doesn't get affected by this. I would have to effectively... Yeah, you see that? Lightning damage now. She deals lightning damage. And they seem to have a little bit of... Oh, it's the sound issue again, man. I hate that. Ah, it's like those sound issues, bro. We have to fix that soon, guys. Wait a minute. I see it's not connected directly and therefore it doesn't work, huh?
Gotcha, bitch.
Oh, I see. It's the tier 2 ability, isn't it? Yep. Tier 0 would work. Then we don't even have to connect it. Yeah, then we can use it. Thank you very much for following, Brain Farmer. Good morning. Good morning, Pikachu. Hey, my man. Good. Hope you're doing good, bro. How is your project coming along? Are you still working on your 2D game? The Vampire Survivors clone? Anyways. Yeah. So, what I want to debug now is the healer. Actually, I think I can already do this with this guy. All I need to do is go in here and change this skill from Meteor to Chain Lightning. This does 110 lightning damage and chains 1 time. Now, the visuals are going to be fucked up, but I want to see if the... I think it chains too much. How much energy does it need? Should probably get rid of the energy costs. So... let's see here. Chain lightning. Over here. Let's get rid of the energy cost and give it a cooldown of 10 seconds. Or let's say, like, yeah, let's give it a cooldown of 10 seconds. I think it's easier. There you go. That was a lot of damage. Maybe we need to give it a range too. I mean, it has kind of abysmal range, but I'm also using it on the wrong target. This target has absolutely no range. The damage is interesting to me. How much does this damage... is this damage now? It does 185. Yeah, but they're all stacked together. It's difficult to see. Shit. Oh shit. Come on. Come on. Kill them. It's fine. It's fine. We have -5 lives. Alright, let's see. Okay. You know what? I want this cooldown to be a bit lower so we can debug this a bit better. Let's turn this to 5 seconds. Okay. Yeah, I can't really see. It looks like it chains 1 time, right? So the chains seem to be correct. It does damage on 2 targets. I did hear that devs are not good at their own games. No, I don't think so, bro. It looks like chain lighting works, but I guess the next thing we have to do is work on the rendering aspect of it. Because it's supposed to use like a repeating texture. Which means we have to somehow clamp that in the renderer. So essentially I don't have repeat, right? It has a bunch of ifs here in the shader. Which I know is not good. We have texture coordinates, right? What we would need here is a size for the sprite. Do I still have the fragment shader? I think it's called opaque.frag, right? This has repeat somewhere. I'm pretty sure. Perler noise. Ambient color, color grading, circle, glowing box, glowing ring, Perler noise, progress bar, repeat. I see. Cakez, why the minus in front of the heart icon? The minus is because there's a bug with the level behaving incorrectly when losing. I don't have a lose condition in the game currently, because I removed it in favor of getting rid of some state values that I didn't want to have. It's like a little bit complicated. But essentially, to clean up the code, I had to introduce this bug. I'll fix that off stream. It's literally just a bug at the moment. So we need texture coordinates, and then we need an atlas offset. Rendering option repeat. What is atlas offset? Okay, so we need that atlas offset in the texture coordinates. Cancel out the y offset. Texture coordinates. And then the scale factor. I wonder what that means. If we scale something? Oh god, what is that? That was so bad. I didn't have... Oh, the scale factor is probably like the game that I had. That was so bad back then. And then I modulo the texture coordinates by the sprite size. And the sprite size is something I supply to the fragment shader. So, guys, I have a question, a general question about shaders and OpenGL. If you supply more data here, more input, is that bad? Like, is it more data throughput and therefore it is slower? Is that how it works? Or is it fine if I have a lot of data here? I mean, I will still do it, but yeah. What do we have here even? We have materials. We have transforms, right? What do we have in the vertex shader? We have transforms. That's in the shader header. A transform has an atlas offset and a sprite size. That's perfect. Because then we can supply that from the vertex shader. Layout location is 6. Out vector 2. Sprite size. Why is there so many? Okay, it's odd. We can say sprite size is transform. But sprite size. Then in the fragment shader we can get that. We can read that. Whoopsie. That is an in value. And then we can check for repeating. And I think we have everything we need. Well, you pass more data, so in my opinion the bottleneck is tighter. And I think we need an atlas offset, unfortunately, as well, right? We have texture coordinates. These will be, I think, stretched or something. Texture coordinates. We have the world position. This is the world position of the... Wait a minute, I'm a bit confused right now. Well, you pass more data, so in my opinion the bottleneck is tighter. Yeah, that's what I think happens too. Let me think here. So in this shader, what we pass in is the sprite size, the atlas offset, and then some scale factor. And in order to repeat, we get the texture coordinates. We remove the atlas offset. So now we have a value between 0 and, let's say, 16 on Y. Then we scale that value for whatever reason. Because we have like some scale factor. We don't have that in our game. And then we modulo the texture coordinates to repeat again. Now, what I think I have to do is... Na, alles gut, später. Danke. I don't think we can use the texture coordinates because they will always go from 0 to 16. What I think we need to do is if we want to repeat that, I have a world position and I have a start position. That's bad. Wait, we have Atlas offset. We need to get the scaling factor. That's, I think, what it is. The scaling factor is dependent on the camera, I think. Goodness. So basically it just takes... The modulo doesn't work for us because I'm stretching the texture and it looks weird. Oh, I'm doing it on the CPU. I'm not doing it on the GPU. I'm doing it on the CPU. It looks like I tried to do it. Let's see. So maybe we don't need this yet. Because it's trying to create a bunch of things. Sprite size. Maybe it is in the rendering interface to repeat. Wait. Update. And draw. Oh my god. Update. And draw laser effects. It gets these between the two. Laser effect, yeah. Gets the sprite. Animates the sprite. Draws a line using the sprite, using rendering option repeat. Draw a line. Okay. That's quite a few line drawings that we can do here. But I think it uses this. Right now it just gets one transform. It looks like. I wonder why it looks so weird then. How about we don't do the angle? Oh my god, can you stop? Stop it, man. Alright, let's see here. How does that look? It's odd that it creates all of these weird looking quads. You know what? I just want to quickly make the game smaller. So we can see better. And I can debug better. Let's see here. I see that it may come from D3, D2, D1 debug. Come on. Okay, so it's gonna draw a line. That's what it looks like, and it seems to draw... How many laser effects do we have? 2. It seems to draw 2 lines. What are you trying to do? I'm trying to figure out why the line looks like this. Essentially, I can't edit the video right now, but it looks completely destroyed. And so the sprite we are talking about is at 672 and 448 in the Atlas. 448. Yeah, it is essentially this. I see. This is actually the sprite. It's inverted though. That's interesting. And then it's supposed to... It just draws the transform without animating it, it looks like. Or are you animating it here? It animates the sprite. Here. I guess that's draw line, huh? The draw data has an animation index of 0. And it is never animated, it looks like. Because the laser effect Let's see. LE. What do we have here? We have a duration. Loop duration. Ah, I see. That's another one of these issues where the duration is shorter than the loop duration, huh? And over here we have a duration of 1 second. So what I want to do here is use the loop duration. And it looks like it always takes away from the duration, right? Minus equals. What the fuck is that? What am I doing here? Why is this so inverted? That's so bad. Fraction loop duration? Like, what the fuck? Hey, Dev Sputters! Hello there! Thank you so much for raiding. Good morning. Yep. Float T is fmod using fmod f, I guess. The laser effects timer with the laser effects loop duration. Right? And then we animate using that T, using the frame count and that stupid loop duration. Here you go. Hello, good morning, guys. How you doing? Hope you had a good stream, Dev Sponges. That's the idea. Alright, guys, let's see what this looks like. It's not animating them. I don't understand this. It's not animating this at all. Why is it not animating this? Please animate. Huh? Oh. It does work, but it's not shown here. Huh. Maybe draw line doesn't take the animation index into account. Are you not taking that into account? It is 600, okay. Huh? Huh? How does it not have, huh? It's gone already, isn't it? Oh my god, I'm so fucking stupid. That's where the issue is. I'm not supplying the animation index. I'm calculating it, but I'm not supplying it. Okay, guys, we fixed the problem really quickly. That was really... Uh-oh. 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 Pushing out updates every day is a mistake, by the way. Players respond better to larger, more spaced out updates. Even better if the update has slight theme to it. That's our experience, at least. Yeah, guys, for those of you who want to know, Ramis is the one that worked on... I didn't know that, but on... Galactic. Shut. Deep Rock Galactic. The Survivors game. 13,000 lines? Yep. It's all in one file, bro. Because I reload that. Cake Bash has 243 reviews. Is that much? Cake Bash? 243 is decent. It's not perfect, but it's decent. So, for example, Pirate Software often uses his first game as a reference, and I think it doesn't even have 100 reviews, which is Champions of Breakfast. But he says it's a terrible game, right? He has a lot of he had a lot of marketing for the game, or not a lot of marketing, but right now he has, right? Let's see, Cake Bash Steam. I don't have fuck man. Very positive, 90%. Let's see, 6 hours, 30 hours, 1 hour, 1 hour, 6 hours, 11 hours, 5 hours. These hires some number. Not enough content. And then price. Wow, okay. That's a high price. Whoops. Okay. Not enough content, which is a shame. You have seen absolutely everything in the game. The shame the game is fun, but after 1 or 2 games you have everything. You have seen everything. There are about 15 minigames in total, but most of them are locked, so you have to play the same 8 minigames over and over again. So repetitive. I don't know. Seems like this is repetitive, bro. Might be wrong here, but works best with a controller. Okay. Give me a second. I think a metric to take into account what the total theoretical success of a game can have, for example, can make a world's best game for some type, but if you more actually wanted to play it, then it would not matter. Guys, I have to go, unfortunately. I have to work now. I'm gonna get a call in a second. So I'm sorry, guys. We'll have to talk about this tomorrow. It's interesting. I think if a game is not a good game, then it will not receive the attention that you want it to have. I think a game that's good will receive the attention that it deserves. I've not seen so far, like I've not seen a good game that is like unknown. Like if a game is good, then it should rise to the top. Well, not to the top, but get that reception. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.